France advanced to the World Cup final after defeating Belgium with 1 goal. A lot of people, including me, picked Belgium to go all the way. But Deschamps' masterclass made sure it was France who will get a chance to go down in the history books come July 15. So what did France do? In order to fully understand this tactical masterclass by Deschamps, we have to take a look at what Roberto Martinez, Belgium's manager, had in mind. And to get a gist of how Roberto Martinez wants his team to play, go ahead and check out my previous video, A Tactical Profile of Belgium. In this video, I'll do a quick overview of the slight changes he made compared to the team I discussed in the tactical profile. Munir was suspended for this game. I failed to mention that in my previous video and could only comment. That meant that Belgium were now without their only recognized defender who could play as a wingback. And in my opinion, this is where things went wrong for Belgium. Before I expand on that with my own personal views, let me show you how Belgium played. When building up, Belgium had the same shape as they've had this whole tournament, with Chadli becoming the widest offensive player on the right. But as you saw in the lineup, Belgium did not have Carrasco in the side. That was because they were playing with 4 at the back instead of 5. This meant that it was Hazard who took care of the left side with Fellaini nearby. This is another thing I will touch up on. The goal of playing Fellaini was to have him alongside Lukaku when crossing the ball. And when Belgium were defending, he would go on and mark Pogba, trying to limit his influence. To do that, Belgium switched to a 4-3-3 when defending, with De Bruyne and Hazard pressing on either side, while Witsel and Fellaini tried to take care of any player nearby. Now, let's go ahead and address Belgium's issues I was talking about earlier. Let's start with Chadli. I understand Martinez wanted to play with the same shape as before, but the sacrifices he had to make in order to make that happen, in my opinion, were not worth it. Let's take a look at Chadli's shortcomings offensively. Notice how Chadli doesn't run, even after having plenty of space in front of him. It was obvious how much Belgium were struggling due to Munir's absence. Hazard tries to rotate the play to the right, but Chadli's lack of awareness causes Hazard to turn back into the condensed part of the pitch. That was Chadli when Belgium were on the offense. When defending, he was even worse. He didn't need to step towards Hernandez so early since Hernandez will have to control the ball anyway, which would give Chadli enough time to step up. And to be honest, you can't blame Chadli for playing so poor. He's an offensive player, forced to play as a right back against France on such a big stage. If anyone deserves the blame, it's the manager. Let's take a look at the other issues which sort of handicapped Belgium for the most part. That issue was playing Fellaini beside Hazard on the left. Before I go any further, I want to let you know that there are not many players in the air who are better than Fellaini. He's decent when defending as well. But I have doubts when it comes to his technical side of the game. Take a look at this for example. Fellaini carelessly loses the ball multiple times, and half of the time a foul was given in process of winning the ball back. Not just that, but when his team has the ball, Fellaini usually doesn't offer much in terms of creating space for his teammates or linking up, which is crucial, especially if you're playing with a player like Hazard, who loves to dribble. What this does is force Hazard to dribble just on the left wing and be isolated from the rest of the team. Hazard was able to link up more freely when another player, usually Lukaku, would drop deep to help. Notice how Lukaku tries to create space for Hazard to dribble into. This is what Fellaini was failing to do on a regular basis. These were the issues that Roberto Martinez had to deal with since he wanted to stick with his tactics. And I don't understand why he didn't go a different route. He had so many options to choose from and he decided to go with this. I definitely would have done things differently. If it was up to me, I would take out Fellaini and play Tielemans alongside Witsel and Dembele. This would make it easy to replace Carrasco for Chadli since the white player will be used primarily for attacking from the right wing. The reason for this is it will make it possible to exploit the space left by Hernandez when going up. De Bruyne can then stay up and play a free role alongside Hazard who will play from the left. What this would do is allow anyone from the midfield to join an attack, while having enough players with good defensive abilities dropping back to defend when needed. With that being said, let's take a look at what Deschamps did to counter Martinez's tactics. They lined up very similar to how they had done for most of this campaign. This meant that, just like before, France would be focusing more on the defensive side of the game. Deschamps wanted to disrupt Belgium's build-up play, so he tasked his forwards to play very narrow to mark Belgium's midfielders. As you saw, Belgium were being afforded plenty of space by the line. This is because Deschamps wanted Matuidi and Kanté to take De Bruyne out of the game. When a Belgium-wide player got off field, Matuidi would step up, becoming a left wing-back at times, while Kanté went over to mark De Bruyne. As a result, France would often get too deep in their own half. In order to effectively mark De Bruyne, France had to leave spaces besides Kanté. And this is where players like Mertens or De Bruyne would prefer to be in. France used Giroud as a target man to get them afield, even when Belgium did not press them. And relied on counterattacks to exploit the space in Belgium's half. Belgium's back four was getting split open by the French front three every time they got in the final third. Belgium were on the front foot in the first half as they looked the more threatening team. And came close to taking the lead, mostly because of Hazard on the left wing. Hazard was Belgium's best player in the first half as he kept causing France trouble. Belgium would have been 1-0 up if it wasn't for a brilliant save following a corner. As the game went on, France were attacking more and more from the left, which happened to be Belgium's weak link. And came very close to taking the lead as they kept on attacking till the halftime whistle. France stuck to their tactics with Matuidi taking care of Chadli, while Belgium tasked Fellaini to stay by the defensive line, dragging Pogba all the way back. France kept on targeting the left side and came close to getting the opener. Following that chance, this is what happens from a corner. De Bruyne was now occupying players high up, which left Witsel in space. At the hour mark, Martinez brought on Mertens for Dembele. This meant that De Bruyne dropped deep. I'm pretty sure he left Fellaini on for his aerial threat. As soon as Mertens came on, Chadli went inside, occupying French defenders, allowing Mertens to be the widest players on the right wing. Belgium then kept on crossing every time they got the ball on the right. Belgium's crossing was pretty good after Mertens came on. France continued to target the left side, giving the Belgian defense nightmares. In the 80th minute, Martinez brought on Carrasco for Fellaini, who became the widest player on the left. I really don't know why this wasn't done earlier, since Belgium did not have anyone to attack from the left once Hazard cut inside. Belgium didn't give up until the final whistle as they kept trying to make something happen. Most, if not all, French players were great, especially Mbappe and Pogba, while Hazard was the standout player for Belgium. Throughout the whole tournament, Deschamps has been playing smart instead of trying to play attractive football. I know there's a certain respect for managers who play good free-flowing attacking football, but I can't help but praise these kind of tactics, especially if they're executed well. The reason why I'm saying this is as a manager, your priority is to win the game. Everything else comes second. So, to effectively counteract the offensive tactics of the opposition and come out as winners, that deserves a lot of respect. Giving possession to Argentina when knowing they can't do much with it, targeting Belgium's weak link on the left, using Mbappe and Griezmann's pace on counterattacks, it's stuff like this that got Deschamps into the final. That's how I feel. What about you guys? Let me know down in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All the links can be found in the description. Visit my second channel for more analysis on the World Cup. If you like what I do and would like to support the channel, check out the Patreon page or the card on the top right. Thank you to Anthony, Tej Mullen, Hamilton Howard Nodine, Lucky Sengoku-san, Yitsa Goretsky, Kanto Narkan, and more for supporting this channel on Patreon.